Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space program. My name is WWEdeadman, but you already know that. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. I actually wanted to try something. And actually in my test file that I used to test whether the mods worked correctly. In my Kerbal stream program, a few, some time ago, let's say it like that, I did something that resembled a space shuttle. And I wanted to see how well that actually works in FAR. Now, with the announcements about Kerbal Space Program coming out of early access with version 1.0 on the next update, and getting a bunch of improvements in terms of aerodynamics and re-entry heating and stuff like that, I'm really excited that I actually decided to do the beta in FAR Deadly Re-entry. So I actually have a way to see the difference afterwards. In any way, so this is what I came up with as a space shuttle. It looks like a space shuttle. It flies in KSP stock 0.90. I have no idea whether it's gonna work in FAR. Do we have any action groups for that? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna put like our normal standard guys on there and just launch this thing and see if it actually works the way I intended it, or the way it works in 0.90 stock. And we're also gonna do this for the first episode of me playing 1.0. As for 1.0, since it's the first full release to come out, I'm going to play it without mods. Mainly without mods. I'm going to use the mods that make it look better, aka holy shit. RCS on. AKA, I'm going to use Planet Shine, I'm going to use environmental visual enhancements, probably with the next available version of the Astronomer pack, since that looks really cool. And yeah, stuff like that. I'm also going to use Kerbal Engineer probably just because I really like having my Delta V readouts. But I'm not going to essentially need Kerbal Alarm Clock, since there's going to be hello. Yeah, I know that I crashed some stuff in the last time I played this. In any way, 3, 2, 1, launch. I'm amazed by the way that this actually goes up, at least. Even though this is Ferrum Aerospace. We're going to see about how well it flies, but and also we're gonna see about how shit's overheating. For some reason. I don't understand why this is overheating so much, necessarily. But yeah, in any way, it does work like the original Shuttle did, more or less. Which I'm amazed at, really. So yeah, what was I going on about? This is too damn loud. So, you know, this is essentially what happened in... I mean, this could essentially be a Columbia disaster here. With the stuff ready to explode. Okay. That cost us a bit of our boosters. I'm not too stoked about that. I'm not too mad about that either, but yeah. We're gonna see how this works out in the end. I don't know what that was. I guess that was deadly re-entry, not wanting stuff to overheat that much. I called bug on that, but yeah, anyway. So what we were going on about, apart from that, is that we're gonna try to get this into orbit in the 1.0 release as well, and try to fly it back down, just to see whether how much different the stock aerodynamics in 1.0 with which also is going to have deadly re-entry. There's actually going to be re-entry heating. So I'm just, you know, curious how they're gonna handle it. Essentially. And how well this is going to handle compared to in FAR. Where it handles extremely well. I'm amazed at how well this handles. Although I'm flying it in like realistic aerodynamics. What's FAR telling me anyway? Nominal. I'm amazed. So yeah, that's going to be most of what we're gonna do in the first episode of our of 1.0. I'm probably going to do the test of this in 1.0 without mods at all, just so I can test it out like right away, because I don't really need mods for this. Get this up a bit. I want my time to apoapsis to rise up to 30 up until the time where my apoapsis is actually 30. So maybe a little bit too shallow here. Yeah, and anyway, we're gonna try, we're gonna get this into space for sure. I'm not sure how this is going to behave on re-entry, since it doesn't really have shielding. Which is gonna depend on that actually, like, working as a shield. I don't know how the deadly re-entry handles plane parts. So yeah. As I said, we're going to play 1.0 mostly with stock stuff for now. As when it comes out, of course. It isn't out yet, and it's probably going to take a whole lot of time to do quality assurance and stuff like that. Since, you know, it's going to be the full release, so they surely want their game to be like the best they can make it up until the time where they release it. Because, you know, bad release could mean like a really bad rap due to like reviewers giving it bad reviews. So Jamp, Bill, Bob, and Dolly Kerman are on here. Oh, brave Kerbonauts. You know, what I actually kind of want to have as a pilot feature is kill rotation. Because it kind of sucks that you can't do that. Kind of sucks that stuff just starts rotating as it wants. Because I like really don't like how this... Nope, nope, no. How this like works here. Anyway. Should probably get this pointed somewhat straight at the horizon. Or actually a little bit below the horizon, because this actually needs to point down a bit to actually burn like forwards. At 77 I'm cutting the engines and actually wait until we coast up a bit. Don't flip out. God, frame rate is really low. That's probably mostly because I'm looking at the water. Not even. Huh. I have no clue what's lagging the game so much at the moment. By the way, do we have this on? Oh. Looks way better. Did I already say that I love Planet Shine today? By the way, turn the lights on. It looks even better. Okay, in any way, I want to get this out of the atmosphere, please. $69, $70. And get this into an almost orbit. I mean, we could get it into orbit, essentially, I think. Right now I'm burning actually at the horizon. more or less. I want a kind of realistic re-entry profile here. Like 20 should be realistic as a periapse. For re-entry, that is. Then we're gonna point forwards and say goodbye tank. That's gonna definitely fall back to the planet as the real shuttle tank would on still suborbital. And then the real shuttle would of course use RCS to go into full orbit. But yeah. Also cargo bay, just because. I wanted to open that up for once. Okay. Turn off those lights and probably fly around the planet for a bit. Oh, thing is, electric charge is probably a little bit of a concern here, so turn off stuff for a moment. We do want to look forward. And we want to turn up ambient lighting, not lightning. There's no lightning in case P. Unless you have the astronomer pack. That actually has lightning as well. Jeb, would you? Thank you. Actually, just hold prograde. And we're gonna fast forward till we re-enter. And then we're gonna see how re-entry looks. And that's when I go back to stability assist instead of hold prograde. Oops. I forgot that I actually had like those down there because I couldn't get the nose up. So let's see how this looks in re-entry. I'm really excited to see that. Starting temperature rise. And there's the sunrise. Okay, cool. We don't want to bounce off the atmosphere and like skip out back into the into space, which is totally a thing you can do in FAR. We want this to have a somewhat could you trim this down? A somewhat realistic re-entry profile here, which means slightly angled. That's more than slightly, bitch. This is a height, by the way. In stock, you wouldn't really feel any aerodynamics here. Apart from the fact that aerodynamics in stock are just bad. At the moment. As I said, they're working on that. And I'm really excited to see how that works once it's done. Stop? Large angle of attack. Yeah, that's kinda a thing that happens on re-entry. Why do you flip over, motherfucker? Jab, hold prograde. Okay, good that that's not only me that can't get to prograde, but also the autopilot. Okay. I think we actually have, like, a somewhat nominal flight again. Thank you, Jeb. You're good. You're a really good pilot. And that's the engine overheating back there because of re-entry. Nothing actually burns up, which is kinda amazing. Even though this has like 900 degrees. And now I'm really excited to see how well this glides once it's like left free. I'm gonna try not using RCS for a moment and just using the flaps, and I think those are actually not configured. Yeah, I totally didn't configure these again for FAR because they don't need as much control in FAR as they need in stock KSP. I'm amazed. And this glides very well. I mean, it glides down to the ground at 100 meters per second. But I have vertical velocity of 73, 71. Actually going down good. I want my gear out. That's actually going to make the thing a little bit slower. Mach effects, we're still above Mach 2, so we're still flying faster than the Concorde. I don't actually know how long the real shuttle was stayed in supersonic flight. Because of course, once it re-enters, it is still supersonic. Oh, that would be a debris from before, the fuel tank. That either burned up in the atmosphere or it just crashed down. Either way, good. Okay, so as soon as this drops below Mach 1, we should get a bit more control over our plane here. Here's the Mach number, in case you were wondering. Because supersonic flight actually does have real life, does have different handling than non-supersonic. Subsonic flight has a lot more control. I'm glad that we're actually coming in over land. I'm not going to do what I usually do when I go for landing in KSP and just nose down into the ground and just pull up before landing. Because that doesn't work in FAR as far as I know. I haven't actually ever done a gliding landing in FAR. I have not done a plane landing in FAR so far. Ha 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 ha, pun, ha. Okay, we're subsonic. And this glides better in FAR than it does in KSP stock 0.90. Because I couldn't get it to nose up in stock 0.90. So, if the new aerodynamics for KSP 1.0 are going to be anything like this, then this is going to be like a really great shuttle. And we could actually use that in our career and stuff like that. Not that it would be very economic, because those parts that I use there are like really, really, really expensive. And I don't think that going with a reusable plane part of a rocket, minor stalling, okay, keep falling a bit better, I guess. That with just the plane reusable and that whole rocket part going to waste, especially those boosters, since those, I mean, I could parachute them down with like stage recovery, but I don't want to use stage recovery in the unmodded playthrough. Really, the only mod that would give me any advantage over stock is Kerbal Engineer, because I really just like having this thing up. And everything else is going to be stock and visual enhancements. So, yeah. After that, of course, once we have played through that career mode, I'm very much into doing a heavily modded install. Maybe by then 1.1 has been released, because they are going to keep on releasing new content. It's not like they will stop releasing just because they go 1.0. Okay, we're still going down at about, oh god, at about 10 meters per second. Actually like 15, 16. We have still got a horizontal speed of over 100 meters per second. I don't want to land with this, especially against that hill over there. By the way, the real shuttle did not have landing gear like this. This is more like, a thing that I had to do to make this at least somewhat landable. Yep. Yep, that's about what I thought would happen. Okay, if I had not crashed into a hill, this might actually have had a chance at landing. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is revert flight to launch. And do a little something that I did in the stream where I built this thing, and just make it try to land. Hello. By doing this. Hello. Taking off. Going over. And once we are a little bit high... Okay, that was a little bit misleading on my... Okay, that's going to crash into the VAB. Okay, we're falling out of the sky. That's not good. By the way, goodbye VAB. I'm sorry. That was not my intention. What do you mean? Oh, hi. I forgot that this is absolutely indestructible. I'm sorry. Yeah, revert the flight again. And actually gain some speed this time before doing all the stuff. Okay. Hello? Yeah, no. This does not have enough lift to actually land, apparently. Okay, so much about that. Revert to vehicle assembly. I'm surely going to do another stream redesigning this or redoing this in 0.90. If in 0.90 it looks like this. We're gonna see about that. Anyway, other thing I wanted to do, and that's the last thing I'm going to do for this episode, is in our actually in our career mode here. One very little thing. about that contract with the landing at a specific zone. Contracts. Perform temperature scans on Kerbal. Complete. And that's just to spare us some time on that. Okay. Next thing that we're gonna do, science data from space, from the moon. Landed at Kerbal. That's not good. That doesn't, come on. That doesn't even pay for itself. Temperature scans on the moon. Above 9,000 meters. But is that do I have to be suborbital? Because I could just take them like over those things in orbit. However, I don't know. Satellite in specific orbit of Kerbal. Rescue Chatkas Kerbal. Real shoots, nope. Stack decoupler splashdown, nope. Orbiting Kerbal, nope. I don't want to test stuff, for at least definitely not in flight. Suborbital, come on. Okay, then not. Perform visual surveys of the moon, which are below I think above 7,500. Yeah, I don't know where those are. I might actually look at the thing and see that. I'd really love to have an Explorer Minmus contract, because that's like the only thing I can get to without patched conics. That without like reloading 5 million times. Because I can't get to fucking Duna and Ike without patched conics and maneuvers. I mean, we already would have the maneuvers. I still need to upgrade this to get patched conics. I just don't have the money for it. Because next time this upgrades, patch conics. That's all I really need, and then we can't do anything. Also, I need to upgrade this because, you know, with that missile size and those waitlist restrictions, I really don't think we can do any interplanetary missions. At least none that aren't like remote tech. And I really can't launch anything remote tech unless I have a relay network, and that's not possible until I can get stuff into orbit easier. I mean, with the launcher we have currently, I could probably put satellites in a pretty high orbit. And I think it would be a good idea to actually do that. And we're just gonna do the scientific data from space around Kerbal while doing that. Don't know about getting the other specific ones. I mean, we could just match the orbit and, but I don't know whether you need to launch it as an unmanned vessel, and if just detaching a satellite there from a manned vessel is actually going to help or complete the contract at all. I don't know. I really don't know. In any way, Lunar flyby would totally be a possibility, because we've done that before. We know that that works. But I know that a Minmus landing would be possible for me, and I really, no flight over Kerbal stuff, please. Really would love to see the Explore Minmus contract, because I could totally do that. You know what? Where's the test that landed thing? I'm going to accept that as well, and just do that real quickly right now, so I can probably get another contract. I know that's like complete bullshit to do, but I don't need solid fuel, I don't need thrust. Launch that. Our engineer getting out there to test a part. And 3, 2, 1, zack. Thank you for the contract, even though that didn't really do anything for us. Recover vessel, that gives us back 100%. And that would be that. Did we get anything new? Radial mount engine landed at Kerbal. Hey, that's science at least. Okay, so I know what we're gonna do next time. So we're gonna do this landed at Kerbal. We're gonna get this while putting out our first satellite. We're gonna redesign our satellites for the stuff and see whether or not that's going to be like too high or anything. I hope I can get something in 30 parts, 18 tons, and the measurings that would actually function as a relay satellite. In any way, we're gonna do that in the next episode. Till then, like and favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and until next time, I'm WWEdeadman. Bye!